Welcome guys to the Meet Damien live stream. I am Damien. Hopefully you traders are in some profitable winning trades right now. If not, maybe we can find some profitable winning trades for you guys here on the Meet Damien live stream. Right now we're looking at the price of Bitcoin like we normally do. It's currently trading at $78,250. I'm on the 1 hour chart right now. And I'm trying to figure out what is Bitcoin gonna do next here. Right now Bitcoin kind of challenging, going up to higher highs here, but as of this moment, looks like we got a rejection off of the rising channel here. Okay, the bottom of the channel. I talked about this last night. You guys can watch last night's live stream. I said there's a possibility that we could probably come up to the bottom of this rising channel and get rejected, and sure enough, looks like we did that earlier this morning here. Okay, and now Bitcoin is kind of selling off here. I'm a little bit worried that Bitcoin could be making a lower high here compared to what it did here on Sunday, earlier on Sunday, when it was at like $79,400. Okay, which is also a ever so slightly high than the high that it had here back in Wednesday of last week when we were at $79,500. So we're still making lower highs here. However, Bitcoin's not crashing or coming down yet to lower prices. We had a little bit of a scare here on Wednesday when we got down to like, I think, did we get down to 74,000? Yeah, $74,900 here. But my DeluxeAlgo indicator was like firing off long signals here and some bullish divergence saying that we should long Bitcoin, and sure enough, those longs have played out to the upside here. I think a little bit more than what some people were expecting, you know, with Bitcoin coming back up to like 78K. But are we going to continue powering through the higher prices here on Bitcoin? Or are we just going to make a lower high here? This is where I need to start figuring out like some direction here. And in order to get like the direction of the market, to get a better idea of what the direction might be, I got to look at the momentum indicators here. Okay, and two of my favorite momentum indicators, one would be the money flow indicator here, the DeluxeAlgo money flow indicator, and this is showing that money flow is actually leaving Bitcoin. It started leaving this morning. We are in the green on money flow. That's good. It's nice to see that, but it's going down compared to what it was earlier this morning and last night. Okay, so that's a little bit of a yellow light, a caution light. I also see that we got a red sell dot that came in at 9 a.m. My time, so that's about what? That's 9 hours ago. And the hyperwave is, you know, although it's in the green, it's overextended. It's above the 80 RSI level here, and now the hyperwave is turning negative, turning red. So maybe we might be seeing lower prices here. I mean, we have seen lower prices all throughout the day. The highest price was early this morning at like $78,000, right, for Bitcoin. Yeah, we got up to like 78,200. But yeah, I see this could be the beginning of like a caution light that we might start drifting down to lower prices here. The other momentum indicator that I like to use would be the MACD indicator here. And that MACD indicator is showing on the 1 hour time frame, we got a MACD crossover to the downside. That happened at 2 o'clock my time, which is about 4 hours ago. And look at this, like the money flow. I mean, the buying pressure died down, and we're getting selling pressure going on here. So I would expect to see lower prices here for Bitcoin later on tonight, going into tomorrow, unless something changes. And there's something that changes. I think we're waiting. We'll get an answer later on tonight, around maybe like midnight Eastern time at the latest. But I believe Congress is trying to figure out if they're going to end the war, or if they're going to actually approve the war in the Middle East with United States and Israel versus Iran. If they approve it, then that could be bad for Bitcoin. That could be bad for crypto. And that could be bad for stocks as well. If they don't approve it, this could send Bitcoin up to higher prices. So I think that's what we're paying attention to right now. I think that's why there's a strong likelihood that they might not approve it, because these politicians don't want to go on record saying that they support a war that is not considered popular amongst the American population and constituents. So they might actually disapprove it, and that could cause the price of Bitcoin to go up to higher prices. It would force Donald Trump to have to wrap things up. But Trump says that he is already in a ceasefire, so there is no war, so there's nothing for them to vote on. But we'll see about that. I feel like Trump could probably change things around and interpret things differently and say that, oh, well, we're closing down the operations against Iran, but we're going to start a new operation patrolling the Strait of Hormuz and against piracy from from nations and from proxies that want to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. So we're gonna keep the troops there, and we're going to stop piracy in the Strait of Hormuz, and that could be the reason why he gets around having to shut things down war-wise with Iran. All right, let me get into the chat. I see we got some people showing up here. We got Big Brother asking about Aave. Okay, and then let's see. Some guy here spamming my chat here. Gonna have to put you on mute. You can continue watching, but you're not gonna have a voice anymore. Okay, you have been muted for spamming my chat. All right. And if you guys have any other requests besides Aave, let me know. What says he's it's 3 a.m. where his time zone's at, and you have 5 more hours of work left. Damn, that's like, what do they call that? The graveyard shift. Working the graveyard shift there. Boss Hog says Bitcoin back to 75. We're still on the Bitcoin chart. I didn't really give downside targets, but let me go ahead and try to figure out what the downside targets might be here. On the 1 hour time frame, which is a time frame that I like to use when I'm day trading, to get like the big, the picture, what the picture might be for day trading in the next 12 to 24 hours. I do see that we have moving averages below us. We have the 200 moving average, pretty important, at 77,200. That could act as support, preventing Bitcoin from going down to lower prices. Could be where we make a higher low and then we bounce off the higher prices. So just keep that in mind. All the moving averages below that are the 50 and the 100. The 50 is sitting at 76,800. So that could be some support there for Bitcoin. But besides using moving averages, let me go ahead and throw in the VRBP indicator, which is going to give us like where people are actually buying and selling Bitcoin. And this is this like kind of like heat map looking indicator here. It shows you the green areas where people were buying, the reds are the sells. You add the buys and the sells together, and you get like a high volume node. And the highest volume node right now, using current data here, is this blue line sitting at 76,200. I believe Bitcoin could actually be heading down to 76,200. If we're going to be bearish, we should get a bounce off that level at the very least before, maybe we do a bear flag and then we come down to lower prices. And as far as like lower prices below $76,000, there is a value area low sitting at 75,200. So you're not too far off with your question about 75K. I think what will end up happening is we'll probably drop down, maybe kind of do a bear flag near the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame, then drop down some more, do another bear flag at 76K, and then drop down some more, and then do probably another bear flag at like 75K. So it's going to be a little like a staircase drop, I believe. I don't think it's going to be a violent drop right down to 75K. I think we'll probably do a staircase downward to 75K. But yeah, I think 75K is actually in play here. But the area to be looking for is 76K on the downside for Bitcoin, is what I'm seeing here with the point of control. And then as far as like upside goes, Bitcoin did have a hard time getting above this rising channel here. The bottom of the rising channel is what looks like we got the rejection here this morning. If we come back up to higher prices, I think this could act as rejection one more time, and that's sitting at like 79K. So I think if Bitcoin comes up to like 79K, we might get a rejection there. And if we come to the 79K and get rejected, that is still a lower high compared to what we did here on Sunday when we were at like $79,500 or $79,400. So I think 79K is the next level that could be a rejection for Bitcoin in the near future if we get up there later on tonight or going into tomorrow. It's going to be tough for Bitcoin to get past 79K. But if it gets past 79K, then, you know, we could be off to the races. And, you know, then I have to zoom out, go into the daily chart here. And I think, you know, if we get past 79K and start going into 80K territory, there is a moving average here that I'm concerned about. This red line here, this is the 200 moving average on the daily time frame, sitting at 83K right now, 83,800. I think 83 or 84K is where Bitcoin goes if we can get past 79K here. 79,500 was what we topped off here on April 22nd. If we can get past that, I think 83,000, 84,000 is the next level to be looking for Bitcoin. All right, and that's just using moving averages there on the daily time frame. All right, let's move on from Bitcoin. We can always look at it again. But we're going to now move on to Aave was a request here. And if you guys have any requests, go ahead and shoot away. Let me know what cryptocurrency or stock or commodity. We can talk about gold and silver as well if you want, or oil. But let me know what kind of cryptocurrency requests that you guys have here. And we'll take a look at these cryptos for you guys on the chats here on the Meet Damien live stream. Looks like Aave. We're looking at Aave currently trading at $92. Once again, I got the VRVP indicator fired away, showing us important levels to be looking for. We're already at a very important level here. We got the point of control, the POC at $92.50, and we're at $92 right now. We're like 50 cents below it. So there should be support here. But if we lose that very tightly, the value area low is not that far off from us. And that's that white line below us at $89.50. I think that should be where we could get also some support. Aave is looking very interesting. I don't know if it can get beaten down any further than what it is right now. I mean, it probably could, but I think it's highly unlikely that we're gonna go to lower prices here. Only because you're already at the lowest prices you could possibly get for Aave right now. If Aave is able to push and power through and actually go to higher prices here, the resistance starts to drop down here. You get on the VRVP indicator, obviously you got a high volume node here at $92, but then the nodes start dropping off and the resistance starts dropping off. You get a gap in the VRVP, and the next high volume node that I'm seeing here that could be a problem to the upside is $106. $106 is where I would look for potential resistance, only because if you just look left, you can see that there's some candles. Candle body closes and candle wicks here at $105, $106 here, back in like March and February earlier this year. I think the people that thought they were catching the bottom over here, they're on the water right now, and if they're not fully convinced about being long-term investors in Aave, they're probably gonna want to sell when they're at break even at $105. So I think $105 is where we could have a possible rejection for Aave. And then also look at this, you know, we got a moving average here above us. This 100 moving average, this blue line, currently sitting at $111. It is a moving average, a moving target. I think, you know, if the price climbs up to $105, that blue line, which is coming down right now to lower prices on us, might actually be at $105, $106, and that's where we could expect a rejection off the 100-day moving average here on Aave when it gets down to like $105. I think X marks the spot right there. I would try to take profit and put in a limit order sell to sell your Aave there at that price. Gangsta Baby is in the chat, is asking about Ethereum. Want us to take a look at Ethereum over here on TikTok. All right, I got you. Let me go ahead and write down these requests. Appreciate that request. If you got another request, let me know. We'll try to get through them as best as we can here. We got Ruzgar following me here on TikTok, thank you. And then Tran says long or short, bro. You gotta ask me what asset are we talking about long and shorting. Right now we just looked at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin looks like it wants to come down to lower prices tonight, but anything can change. I think we're waiting on Congress to tell us if they're going to approve or disapprove the war in Iran. And if they approve it, that could be bad for Bitcoin. But if they don't approve it, that could actually be good for Bitcoin, because that means they have to wrap things up over there in the Middle East, and they're not going to be able to continue attacking Iran and causing, you know, damage to infrastructure over there. All right, so I guess after Aave, we're going to take a look at Ethereum here. So why not? Let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum as the next request. Ethereum currently trading at $2,295. Let me go ahead and just get a swig of water here. Okay. Ethereum trading at $2,295. I got the VRVP indicator off to the right here, showing us key levels to be looking for. I also got the moving averages as well, that I can also use to figure out, if there's any confluence between the VRVP indicator and the moving averages here. The most important thing to look at with the VRVP indicator is this high volume node, the highest volume node, point of control. This blue line is sitting at $2,064. Okay, this is where I think if Ethereum was to come down to low prices, we should get a rejection. We should get at least a bounce off of that level, preventing us from going to lower prices initially. And it's also kind of like a psychological level. I think people, the bulls are trying their best to defend $2,000 because they don't want Ethereum to go lower than $2,000, because then people start getting a little bit more scared about their investment in Ethereum if it's going to go below $2,000 here. So I think 2,000 should be your support level. To be more precise, 2,064 is the support level for Bitcoin, and that's your point of control. That's your blue line here, your POC. Okay. Now, before we even drop down to that POC, there are other levels that are going to help us prevent Ethereum from dropping down to low prices here, and that's your value area high at 2218, which is confluent with the moving averages here. You got also some moving average support here at the 50 moving average, that green line, and then the 100 moving average, the blue line. And it looks like they're going to try to protect Ethereum from dropping down to low prices. That is sitting at like 2211 and about $2,200. So I think $2,200 is going to be tough for the bears to push us past unless there's enough selling pressure. And if there is enough selling pressure, then we're going to probably drop below $2,200 and head right down to 2,064. That's like a 10% drop right there. So if you're short selling it, you could probably make some money short selling it and taking it down to like 2,064. We got Crypto Cruise in the chat, says you're shorting BTC. I'm actually shorting BTC myself. We already looked at the Bitcoin chart. We looked at the money flow indicator, and it was showing us a red sell dot came in earlier this morning. And money flow is kind of trending downwards. But anything can change. I think tonight Congress is going to be giving us a decision as to whether or not they're going to approve or disapprove the war in Iran. And if they approve the war in Iran, then that's going to probably be bad for Bitcoin, because that means we're probably going to be there longer than we all expected to be there for. And it's not just a military operation, it's actually a war. So that would be bad for Bitcoin, I believe, and that could send us down to lower prices. However, if they disapprove it, and that's always a possibility, because they might not want to go on record for a war that's unpopular with the American population. If they disapprove it, then that would be good for Bitcoin. I think we could see Bitcoin go up and probably take out our stop losses here on our shorts. Matty Ghost is in the chat, says Lab is going to $1.47. Okay, is that a request for Lab? Let me know, Matty Ghost, if you want me to take a look at Lab for you. You love making statements. You love telling us like what's going to happen and whether we should long it or short it and what price. Nothing wrong with that. All right, yeah, we'll take a look at Lab as a request here from Matty Ghost. All right, thank you, Olivia and Jazzy, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Gangsta baby. Yep, we just looked at Ethereum. Movie Edits wants to look at Bitcoin chart. All right. Before I go into Bitcoin chart, let me just look at the momentum indicators here for Ethereum. Try to figure out what the momentum might be like here for Ethereum on a daily time frame here. Selling pressure is kind of dying down here, so that could be leading to higher prices here for Ethereum. If you're just working off the daily chart here, okay. And then also we did get a green buy dot here on Ethereum that came in just now. So maybe Ethereum does want to push up to higher prices. I just gave you downside targets here, but upside targets for Ethereum, right? Upside targets would be, I believe, $2,500 is the level to look for Ethereum, okay? Only because if you just look left, we know that Ethereum was trading sideways here around like May and June of last year. $2,500 was the price that people were buying and selling Ethereum at. I think $2,500, if we can get back to that level again, would be an area where if these Ethereum investors are not in it for the long run, they'll be back at break even at $2,500, and they might click the sell button at $2,500. All right, so that's something to pay attention to here. Let's go back to Bitcoin, because we did have a request here for Bitcoin. We already looked at Bitcoin on the 1 hour chart, but let's look at Bitcoin here on the daily time frame here. On the daily time frame, just using the VRVP indicator here, Bitcoin has a high volume node here at 74K that could prevent it from going down to lower prices here. Okay, and the moving averages for Bitcoin are actually we got 100 and a 50 moving average at $72,400. That should provide initially some support for Bitcoin until we break below that. If we break below that, then we do have the point of control, right? Highest volume node here, sitting at around like this blue line here at 67K. I already marked that on the chart, but 67K could be an area for Bitcoin to get some support, but that would suck, because that means we would lose all this price appreciation that we had all throughout the month of April just to come back down at 67K all over again. Now, if Bitcoin is going to actually be bullish here and power its way up to higher prices, I mean, we already seen that Bitcoin got a rejection off of the this rising channel here that I drew. Bitcoin's been in a rising channel all throughout the month of April here. Okay, we had that rejection at 78,900 earlier today. I think if Bitcoin comes back up to that level again one more time, we could get rejected again at the bottom of this rising channel here, and that's looking like we could get rejected around like 79K. So that would still give you a lower high compared to what we had here on Monday, when Bitcoin was at 79,490, and that is also still a lower high than 79,500 that we saw on April 22nd. So Bitcoin could still be making lower highs, but pushing it to the extreme where it looks like Bitcoin wants to break out to higher prices, but it's not. Okay, but if Bitcoin's going to break out past to higher prices than $79,000, then we do have here the 200-day moving average, right? This red line is curving down, and this red line is at 83,800. I think if we can get past 79K, 83,800 is an area where I would expect Bitcoin to get rejected initially until we can push through and power through to higher prices past that. But I think that's going to be tough. Have we ever hit the 200-day moving average during this moving average? I mean, during this bear market? No. Ever since we lost the 200 moving average, this red line back here in October of last year, we have not visited the 200 moving average since then. Okay, so I think if we get up to that 200 moving average, maybe later on this month, in the month of May, maybe in June or something like that. If we get up to that 200 moving average, I think that's going to be kind of like a bully and push us back down to lower prices until we can prove that we can get past it. And that's sitting at 83,800. Oh, I see Flo Ryan's in the chat. Good to see you, Flo Ryan. Gangsta Baby asked me what time frame. I'm looking at the daily time frame for Bitcoin right now. Let me just quickly go into the 1 hour time frame, and I'll show you guys what the momentum indicators are doing to give you an idea of what to expect later on tonight going into tomorrow. And the momentum indicators, they kind of give me an idea is is Bitcoin bullish or bearish? Should it be bullish or bearish later on tonight? And I see that we did get a red sell dot here at 9 a.m. my time, which is about 9 hours ago. And the momentum is to the downside, and the money flow is slowly dying off here. And Hyperwave is turning negative too, with it's turning from teal to magenta here. So, on the 1 hour time frame, it's not looking good for Bitcoin to go to higher prices here. And then here on the MACD, this is another momentum indicator, kind of gives you a trend. And this is showing that the trend is to the downside, where buying pressure has been dying down, okay, and turning into selling pressure. And you had this blue line cross the orange line to the downside. That's your MACD crossover on the 1 hour time frame. And this is leading me to believe that we'll see lower prices for Bitcoin later on tonight, going into tomorrow morning, okay, on the 1 hour time frame here. So there you go. Unless something drastically changes here for Bitcoin, I think we should see lower prices here for Bitcoin. All right, don't hold me to it. If Bitcoin powers through, if Congress like denies the war in Iran and disapproves going to war with Iran, that would actually be good for Bitcoin, and we could just blast through and go to 80K after that. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. All right, that even though it looks like it's gonna go down, something could change. News-driven wise, we could get something in the news that just shoots the price of Bitcoin up to higher prices here. All right, hey Mario, how you doing? It says we can sleep well. All right. So what was the other request here? We had the request for Lab. We gotta take a look at Lab for Matty Ghost. Crypto Cruise, it says you're trapped in a long on oil on Coinbase until Monday. Could you want to check out oil? I actually am trading oil, and I know what it's like trading oil on Coinbase. I've done that myself, and I don't trade oil on Coinbase anymore because I've seen some stupid stuff where I put my stop loss below a certain area, and they still fill the stop. They fill out my stop loss. The price doesn't even go down to my stop loss, and yet they still had me get stopped out, even though the price never went down to the stop loss. And I was furious with that. I was like, what the hell? The price didn't even hit the stop loss, and they still stopped me out. How does that work? But then also trading oil on Coinbase, it's tricky because the markets close during the weekend, and you can't trade oil and you get stuck in the long, like you said. So I know a lot of traders, what they'll do is they'll close out their longs and shorts, and then they'll get back in again on Sunday night. What you could do is you could trade oil on WEEX Exchange, where it does trade 24/7. Now the volume does drop off during the weekends, but you can still trade oil on WEEX Exchange. Okay, let me just show you real quick here if I can show you WEEX. This is a cryptocurrency exchange that you can also trade oil on. And one of the pairs here, let me just show you. You have to type in WTI. I'm sorry, no, X. You got to put in an X for some reason. XWTI. Is it going to even show? Oh my God. I'm trying to put in the futures here. All right, let me just go to my favorites. I know I got it. There we go. XTI, okay. Yeah, XTI. If it does load up here. Oh, you're not even going to show the chart? Oh man, come on, WEEX. This is not good. I'm trying to show people here that you could trade oil here, and the chart's not loading up. But you can see that, right now, oil is trading at $102.59 here on WEEX Exchange. Okay. And if you want to trade WEEX, now the chart's showing up. Okay, whatever. I promise you, for some reason, this is not showing up here on WEEX Exchange, but you can trade oil here on WEEX, okay, when it actually decides to work. I usually do this on my phone, and I never have problems with my phone. But right now, this chart is not loading up here. It's saying the network's unstable. Let me go ahead and click the refresh button. Maybe that might fix things up here. Give it a little refresh here. There we go. I just had to click the refresh button. But you can see that you can still trade oil during the weekend here on WEEX Exchange, okay? And I'm actually in an oil. I'm in an oil. Am I long or shorting? No, yeah, I am long in oil right now, just like yourself. So I don't have to worry about the exchange shutting down during the weekend, because WEEX doesn't shut you down. You can actually still trade oil. Now, granted, it might go sideways this weekend unless we get something that crazy during the weekend to move the markets here. But you can still trade oil on WEEX Exchange, yeah. Which I think is better than Coinbase. And if you want to start trading oil on WEEX Exchange, I do have a Meet Damien link. If you go over, since you're on YouTube, let me do this with YouTube here. Let's see. I was watching some other stuff here, but you go over to my channel here, Meet Damien YouTube, and you click on this Linktree link here. Okay, click on that. That's going to take you over to the Meet Damien Linktree. This is what it looks like. And then down here, you see the link for WEEX to get started. That's my referral link for WEEX. And then, of course, you're on YouTube. You could just see that here, right below me, I believe. No, if I point this way, I don't know if that's the direction, but you can see, no, if I go the other way, I gotta point the other way. You'll see the referral code for WEEX right there. XBDP is my referral code, okay? Make sure you got that in there if you're gonna get started with WEEX, and then I get credit for the referral for referring you over to WEEX, okay? You can also trade on MEXC as well. You can trade oil on MEXC, which is also 24/7, but MEXC is, they're gonna require you, I don't know if you're American or Canadian here, but they don't do business with American or Canadians, so you would have to get around that using a VPN, or you could become a digital resident of the Polyalu nation over in somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. And if you do the Polyalu ID, which I think is like $239 for the year, you'll get your KYC straightened out with MEXC, and you can trade on MEXC. MEXC is actually, the cool thing about MEXC is that the fees are lower than WEEX. But WEEX, very easy to get started. You don't have to do KYC with them. You do not need to use a VPN. So I've been telling a lot of my new guys to just go to WEEX to get started trading crypto futures over there. Okay, you can also trade spot there too. It's not just futures, so you can do everything that you need to do with WEEX. That's why I have the referral code right there, right next to me, XBDP. All right, so we will look at oil, and right now we're actually going to look at lab because that was a request that came in before we got the oil request there. So let's go ahead and look at lab. And is it lab USDT? Excuse me, guys. I'm still sick from earlier this week. Somebody got me sick last weekend. I went salsa dancing with a tica here in Costa Rica last Friday night, and then I don't know. I guess somebody got me sick while I was dancing. All right, looks like we got lab currently trading at $1.21 here. I'm on the 1 hour time frame. I believe that's the time frame that Matty Ghost looks at to get started with his day trades here. And wow, okay, lab is just shooting up and to the right, going exponential here. I kind of want to look at this, see what it did on the daily time frame. Looks like it had a pretty good Friday, up 73% here for lab. And then what did Matty Ghost say? You said lab is going to $1.47. Now, how did you do that? You were using Fibonacci? I believe if you're using Fibonacci, you probably measure from this swing high to this swing low down here, maybe somewhere around here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a Fibonacci on this and see if that shows up on the chart here. I do see the 1272 at $1.20, which is where we're at right now. Okay, and then I see the 1618 at $1.49. So I got it as $1.49. Maybe you might have used a different swing low. Maybe I didn't actually measure the actual swing low here, but I see where you're getting $1.47 from, because right now I have it as $1.49 as the 1618 Fibonacci extension here. So there you go. There you go. Does lab have the momentum to go to $1.49 here? Let's see what the momentum's looking like here on the daily time frame. Looking at the MACD indicator here. Looks like we have momentum is to the upside, buying pressure is to the upside. So I would expect that possibly to happen here. You had buying pressure try to die down earlier this week. Then you got a little bit of selling pressure here on Wednesday and Thursday, and then boom, the buyers and the bulls came in to push this thing up to higher prices here. Money flow, what is money flow doing here? Money flow is in the green buy dot. Now this is a little bit concerning that I saw money flow come down here, and that was like earlier this week here. And you went from having solid green to light green, so that's usually like a caution light. But what's saving your butt is that you got a green buy dot that came in today. So green buy dot says we should be buying lab, and that lab wants to go to higher prices here. And it did. It went up, what, 70% today, right? Yeah, 73%. So there you go. I think you might be right about that, Matty Ghost. I think we might see $1.49. So kudos to you for finding that that asset there. All right. Gangsta Baby here on TikTok is asking me about oil here. What's the symbol for oil on WEEX Exchange? I think I just showed it to you. It is XTI. Yeah, I don't know where they get that from. XTI. I think it's supposed to be similar to like WTI, which is West Texas Intermediate Oil. And then the other one is XBR is also another one that you could trade. Why is this thing not? Man, I swear, like WEEX half the time doesn't. On the computer here, WEEX kind of almost it doesn't show data yet. Like I don't know why it's saying that. And then it says the network stable now, but I was trying to show you that there's another oil trading pair. It's called XBR, and that's Brent oil. So you can trade Brent oil, or you can trade West Texas Intermediate, and you can do that on WEEX Exchange. You can also trade silver and gold down here as well. So you got some options here to play around with here on WEEX. All right, back to the chats here. We did have Florian ask about Ethereum. Should we long and buy it? We just looked at Ethereum chart not too long ago. I feel bad, Florian, because I told you that things were looking bullish here for the Japanese and US dollar. The US dollar to Japanese yen. And then we, out of nowhere, we just got a drop on the dollar yen. So I feel like if whatever I tell you with Ethereum, if I say Ethereum's gonna be bullish, I'm worried that it's gonna, something's gonna happen, and then we drop like a rock again. So like I don't want to like give you direction here, but like I'll give it to you. The momentum is here on the daily time frame for Ethereum. It's showing that selling pressure is dying down here. Okay, so I would say long Ethereum if you just was using just the MACD indicator and that's it. Okay, and then the money flow indicator here, the money flow indicator is showing a green buy dot came in today for Ethereum. So it's telling us that we should buy Ethereum. We should long Ethereum. But we don't just live in a world that is just driven by the money flow and the MACD indicator, right? There's like real world news events that can affect any of our trades here, okay? And I think what could happen later on tonight, I believe US Congress is going to make a vote on the war in Iran. And if they approve the war in Iran, that could cause bad stuff here for crypto. And we could drop down in price on crypto, because that means the war is going to continue on. Oil prices will probably continue going higher. And then crypto is probably going to go do the inverse and go lower. Okay. However, they could disapprove the war in Iran. And then that would be bullish for Bitcoin and crypto and in the stock market, because that would mean that they have to wrap things up and end the war in the next 30 days. And Donald Trump's not going to be able to continue military operations against Iran. So if we get that good bit of news that they're not going to do a war in Iran, that they're going to disapprove it, then that could cause Ethereum to go up to higher prices. And higher prices for Ethereum, like short-term target-wise, we are looking for $2,500 here for Ethereum. This red number here, okay? And that's only because if you look left, and we kind of did this early in the last stream already, but I'll do it again. Back here in May and June of 2025, we were trading sideways at $2,500. And I feel like these people, they feel like they're probably stuck on the water. And if they're not long-term investors in Ethereum, if they're just in it for like quick gains, and they had their gains, but if they, now that they're underwater and it's been over a year, if they're not fully convinced of staying in Ethereum for the long run here, they might actually try to sell Ethereum at $2,500. And that would be break even for them. Just get out, unscathed at $2,500. I think that's going to be a rejection zone for Ethereum, $2,500. We got DeluxeAlgo trade in the YouTube chat. He says on the 1 hour time frame, in the next hour you might get a buy dot for what asset? And then Crypto Cruise says, how do I get the money flow indicator? Crypto Cruise, the money flow indicator that I use is by DeluxeAlgo trade. Okay. Great thing about DeluxeAlgo trade is that they're constantly upgrading their indicators here. If you like the indicator the way it is, you can always shut things off and make changes, but they're constantly upgrading it and improving it, which is good to know, because like you're paying for it. You do have to pay for this indicator here. the money flow indicator. All right, but you also get other indicators as well. You'll also get the signals indicators here. You also get this thing spotting bearish divergence. Let me just clean this thing up here. But you can see you get like little red magenta lines here telling you that there's bearish divergence going on in Ethereum right now. Okay. And then I thought I had the trap indicator in there. I gotta turn that thing on. I thought I had it turned on my iPad. I know that. But there's a DeluxeAlgo trap radar indicator, and this is telling us right now that we should be long in Ethereum right now. There's that trap signal right there. Okay. So with that being said, if you want to get these indicators here, since you're on YouTube, I'll show it to you here on YouTube. Go to the Meet Damien YouTube channel here. Over here on the description to the channel, you see the Linktree link. Click on that. Takes you over to the Meet Damien Linktree. Here's all the links, the referral links here, and the one that you want is DeluxeAlgo. You click on that. Move on from there, and it takes you to the DeluxeAlgo website, where you can get that indicator there, right? It usually goes for like $200. You're gonna save 75% using my my referral code here, and it's only gonna cost you $49. Okay, $49 to get access to that indicator. Those 3 indicators, not just 1 indicator. You get 3 indicators here. Okay, and it's a one-time fee. You don't have to pay for it again. Once you get access to it, you get access to it. You click on the Get Access right here, and you put in your email and your credit card information in there, and that's it. $49 due today, and you got access to it. And then once you get access to it, you go back to TradingView here. You go over to your indicator tab here. You go over to Invite Only, and then you'll have the invite. You'll have the indicators there for DeluxeAlgo. Okay, put that in your chat, and you're ready to go. Ready to make some money, hopefully, with this DeluxeAlgo indicator here. Now, I need to get. I don't know. I need to talk to DeluxeAlgo. This right here shows up here, and I know some of what this is right here. I don't totally know all of it. I see that it has a POC, value area high and value area low. I usually turn that off for now until I become more familiar with it. And in order for me to turn that off, I just let's see over here. If I turn off tables, yeah, if I turn off tables, that disappears. But I still got the trap signals here, saying that we should be long in Ethereum today. Today, it's saying long Ethereum. Okay, let's see what it says for Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, give it a chance to load up the indicators here. So it's telling us to short Bitcoin. Okay, you got a trap S saying to short Bitcoin. So that's interesting. So we should be shorting Bitcoin but long in Ethereum. Crazy stuff right there. Matty Go says you have a short at 79,100, might not hit. Do you need a TradingView membership to get Deluxe? Yeah, I believe you do. If you don't have the TradingView membership, that's a good question. I really don't know the answer, Matty Goes, but I know that if you don't have a TradingView membership, then you can only use I think 3 indicators. But maybe those 3 indicators that you could use would just be literally the DeluxeAlgo indicators. You got the trap radar, the regular DeluxeAlgo indicator, which gives you in this case, short signals, super short and super long. And then you get the money flow indicator here. But I don't know. Let me know, Matty Ghost. I don't think it should be a problem, but if it is a problem, just let me know if you have to get a TradingView membership on top of the DeluxeAlgo stuff here. And we got DeluxeAlgo. Actually, he's actually here in the YouTube chat. He says free with only 2 indicators. Yeah. So you might be able to get away with not getting a membership with TradingView, and then you only be able to use 2 indicators at a time. I actually have a TradingView membership, and that's why I get to use all these indicators, and it's not an issue. Okay. But if you want to go back to the Meet Damien Linktree, I actually do have a referral link here for TradingView, where you could save some money on your subscription plan with TradingView. But the best time to actually get a subscription with TradingView, they do sales every now and then throughout the year. Maybe they might do something around like, I don't know, maybe they might do a Mother's Day or a Father's Day sale coming up, or something for like 4th of July. But the best time to get a subscription with TradingView is Black Friday, okay? The Black Friday sale, you can get like 70% off of the membership for TradingView. And that's what I took advantage of. I actually did the Black Friday sale for TradingView. So I got like TradingView Pro or something like that, one of the premium subscriptions, and I got 70% off of it. But with TradingView, you can also do monthly memberships to save some money. You don't have to do an entire yearly membership. You'll save money if you do a yearly membership, but if you just want to pay like, I don't know, like $15 or $20 a month and see if you like it or not, then you can do a monthly subscription for it. Gangsta Baby says, yes, Black Friday is the best deal on TradingView. So there you go. Remember, write that down. Black Friday, go get yourself the TradingView membership. Thank you, Arif, for following me here on TikTok. All right. We got to take a look at the price of oil now, right? That was one of the requests that we got. Seems like oil and Bitcoin have been trading opposite of each other ever since the war in Iran started. So if Bitcoin's going up, that means oil is probably going down, right? And it did go down today. It went down 3%. Looking at the price of oil, WTI, West Texas Intermediate Oil, trading at $104.40. I'm actually trying to long oil. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. But I'm of the belief that even if they do disapprove the war in Iran, Iran has to agree to that too, right? I mean, Iran, if we're doing a blockade on Iran's oil production, then I highly doubt Iran's going to be okay with that, right? And I think Donald Trump still wants to get rid of the uranium enrichment in Iran. So I think what Donald Trump might end up doing is if Congress says no to war with Iran, I think Trump will probably get around that by saying, well, we're closing up the military operation with Iran, but we are now starting a new military operation against the piracy in the Strait of Hormuz. So he can just reset the clock and do what he needs to do, and continue negotiating with Iran. But then there'll be still a blockade until Iran actually gives up the uranium enrichment. Once they shut down their nuclear program, then the war comes to an end. And I think in the meantime, oil prices, you're gonna see less oil leaving the Middle East, and that's gonna cause oil price to go up. So there you go. I'm still bullish on the price of oil, even though there's like some temporary setbacks here, because I think what's going on here with oil is that there's some concern that that the United States government, Congress, the U.S. Congress might actually disapprove. They might not approve a war with Iran because it's a very unpopular war amongst American constituents and the American population, and they might not want to go on the record for like saying that they're okay with a war with Iran. So I think that's why we're seeing the price of oil drop down here. However, we did actually hit some levels here for oil, and I got that mark on the chart here. I did a Fibonacci where oil went up to like $119 here on Tuesday, April 7th. And that's after, climbing up from like $61.98 here back in like February. This gives us the Fibonacci numbers to look for. And we already hit the 786 retracement here at $107. We just powered through that here on Wednesday. Like we started on Wednesday at $100 a barrel, and then we went up to like 110, and then here on Thursday we just kept on going to like $113 a barrel, and then we finally sold off. But we already hit this Fibonacci retracement, so and we were getting overextended, at least on the 1 hour time frame last time I checked. So it makes sense that oil is kind of like chilling out right now. We're still trying to figure out, are we going to go to higher prices here? Because, you know, if the United States disapproves the war in Iran, then maybe Donald Trump, you know, actually says, hey, you know, I tried and we got to wrap things up, and we'll just continue negotiating with Iran about the uranium enrichment, but we'll, you know, bring the troops back and everything back, and we'll just talk to Iran again. Okay, and just continue trying to do negotiations with them, but that will allow oil to hopefully leave the Persian Gulf, and that would cause oil prices to go down. And if oil prices do go down on us, right, levels to look for to the downside, $95, which is also close to this 618 golden pocket at $97. So like $95, $97 is like your initial levels to the downside here. But $95, if I just look left on the oil price, was a top here on September of 2023. We got up to like $95. And it kind of also acted as like a support back here in 2022, right after the war in Ukraine. So $95 is an area that is important to mark on your charts here as a level to look for to the downside. If we are going to see lower oil prices, I would expect maybe a bounce off that level before we actually break through it. So that's what I'd be looking for downside prices here if you want to short oil, okay? But if the war is going to continue, if oil is not going to be leaving the Strait of Hormuz here, then I believe we're going to probably see $119 all over again like we saw back here in March, okay? And then if we get, you know, if we're going to see a restriction of oil out of the Middle East here, then the next level to the upside is the 1272 at $134.86. This is a target that I'm looking for upside price action for oil. And then after that, we do get a 1618 at $154 a barrel oil, okay? And if things get really bad, you know, if Iran is, you know, shooting missiles and rockets at their neighbors and blowing up oil infrastructure in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and all that, and the United States decides to then attack Iran's oil infrastructure as well, then we could probably see $211 barrel oil here. That's your 2618. That's like a doomsday scenario right there, but that's saying that it's a possibility. Just using the Fibonacci here, okay? But let's try to figure out the momentum for oil right now. Is it to the upside or the downside using the momentum indicators, using the MACD? Right now, you did have selling pressure, right? Selling pressure is what the hell is going on here with TikTok? TikTok is saying that I am showing off my body here. And they're restricting my live stream, trying to say that I'm showing off my body here on TikTok. They say that I am showing off too much of my body and sexualized behaviors over here on TikTok. I think because like I was getting close to the screen and it shows like my neck and whatnot, and they're probably like, oh my god, this guy is like showing off his neck. TikTok can be ridiculous sometimes. Let me submit feedback here. Yeah, that's ridiculous. My live does not contain that content. Yeah, that's my response back to that. TikTok thinks I am showing off my body here. Yeah, TikTok is ridiculous because they, Rich, they got like artificial intelligence, and I think what they saw is I got really close to the camera here because I'm looking at the charts here, trying to, you know, I got the phone here, and I'm looking at the chart. And I'm kind of, you know, doing a close-up, and it's showing my neck right here on the camera. And it's like, oh my god, this guy is like showing off his neck. He's like, he's being over-sexualized on his live stream right now. Yeah, TikTok is ridiculous. Yeah. But anyways, like what I was saying here, before I got that stupid restriction on TikTok, selling pressure is dying down here, and then buying pressure was coming in, but then today it wasn't good enough to go higher. We actually saw buying pressure come down just a little bit. So this is a little bit tricky here. If buying pressure continues going down, we will eventually see lower prices here for oil. Okay, but the trend was looking like it was going to the upside here for higher oil prices here. Yeah. And then let's see, going on to the money flow indicator here. You did get a green buy dot on the daily time frame telling you to buy. You should have been buying oil on April 22nd here. Momentum to the upside, money flow in the green still, and then the hyperwave was in the green here. So it was looking like we should be going to higher oil prices here. And let me just I want to go over to the oil price here on WEEX. This is XTI. Excuse me. And I want to get into the 1 hour time frame, see what the 1 hour time frame is looking like. It's looking like here, ooh, oil prices should be going down later on tonight. So I think be watchful of your oil long. I know you're kind of trapped in it right now, and it's not going to start trading again until Sunday, but it's looking like money flow is going down to the downside here, and you're now turning negative here on the oil price here on WEEX Exchange. You did get a green buy dot earlier this morning, and momentum is still going to the upside. So this is like kind of weird, but that's what I'm seeing here. Okay, and then on the MACD, on the 1 hour time frame for oil, I mean, selling pressure died down earlier this morning, and now buying pressure is starting to show up this afternoon here, and I think we should see higher prices. So this is conflicting information here. Very conflicting information here. I think they're waiting to find out is the U.S. Congress actually going to approve a war with Iran here. But I'm trying to figure out like what was my Bear with me real quick here, guys. My TikTok guys, you might see my stream pause for a little bit. I want to see what's going on with my oil long here on the phone. So just bear with me. I'm going to be in and out real quick here. Yeah, my oil long is still in the green. I got in at like a little bit below 102 bucks here. Yeah, so my oil long is still in the green. Right now it's trading at $102.50, and I got in at $101.90 earlier today. So my oil long is still in the green, but I probably should be a little bit worried that it might actually drop down on us later on tonight if the United States government, the Congress, if they disapprove the war in Iran. That would actually send the oil prices down lower, I believe, initially. All right, let's see. Rich, how you doing, Rich? We got Rich here. He says, "Button up, Buttercup." You're funny. Yeah, I guess I'm wearing a V-neck. I should probably put on a button here. So don't want to show too much cleavage here on TikTok, or else I'll get restricted. Let's see. Crypto Crew says, you purchased the DeluxeAlgo. How do you add it onto TradingView? Okay, I think I went over that. So if you purchase that, right? If you go over to TradingView indicators here, it should be under, in the personal section here, it should be under invite only. Click on invite only and you should have that there. If not, you can reach out to DeluxeAlgo and let them know that you purchased the indicators, and I'm pretty sure he'll get in touch with you and actually give you access to it. They'll give you access to it, but it should show up like this. There should be the invite only section. Okay, I don't know. I don't think it would be under purchase. No, purchase is if you purchase it from TradingView themselves, but invite only, it would be under invite only for the DeluxeAlgo. Let me know if that actually shows up under invite only. Okay, it should, because this is where I get the indicators from. I got to go to the invite only, but I also save them under my favorites. So there you go. I got my favorite indicators there. DeluxeAlgo is part of my favorite indicators there. All right, Rich, we got some people spamming TikTok. If you don't mind coming over to TikTok to do some moderation here. I'm over here now trying to shut some people up here. But if you could do that for me, that'd be greatly appreciated here. Clean things up here on TikTok. I'm literally, I gotta mute like 3 people here who are like spamming my TikTok right now. Flo Ryan has a request here for the US dollar, the Japanese, and then the British pound, the Japanese. Why don't I do British pound to Japanese first? I haven't looked at that. Appreciate that request. And then I'll look at the US dollar to Japanese. Gangsta Baby says, do I trade oil and gold? Yes, I do. And I do that on WEEX Exchange as well. Yeah. I can also do it on MEXC as well. MEXC has gold and oil futures as well. And then Coinbase has it too, but I told you I don't like Coinbase because they stopped me out, even though the price never even went to the stop limit price. And I thought that was ridiculous. I was like, how are you gonna fill me in and stop me out when the price never even dropped down that low? So there you go. I don't do business with Coinbase when it comes to trading futures because of that bullshit. And they did that to me more than once, and I was like, alright, once, okay, maybe a mistake. Second and third time, now I'm the idiot for trading on Coinbase because they're over here robbing me, stomping me out when the price never actually hit the stop price. Have I ever tried Blowfin? I think I had someone from Blowfin reach out to me about becoming an affiliate, but no, I haven't tried Blowfin. I kind of like the exchanges that I'm using right now. I like MEXC and I like WEEX, and Coinbase is okay, I guess, but not really. All right, let's look at the British pound to the Japanese yen, and that is GBP to JPY. Oh, and I'm putting an extra symbol in there. Okay. The British pound to the Japanese yen. We'll look at the big picture daily time frame here. All right. Wow. Okay. So I think we saw the same thing here with the US dollar to the yen, but the British pound also dropped down in value here. And I forgot what news-driven event happened here that caused that. Oh, I think it's because if the war in Iran is actually going to come to an end because the United States Congress is going to disapprove of it, then that should, in theory, cause the war to end and allow oil prices to go down. And if oil prices go down, that means inflation should go down. And if inflation is going down, right, then that means the Japanese yen should start appreciating versus the dollar yen here. I mean, versus the British pound here. So I think that is why we got that drop here on Thursday. Okay, I could be wrong, but that's what I know and understand from what I've heard on the news here. Is that's probably why you got that nasty red candle here on Thursday. But even before the news came out about that, you were getting a lot of short signals here. You got the super short. You also got a trap short here, okay, signal. So it's telling you to short before you even got that drop down in price. And then also on top of that, I got bearish divergence with these magenta lines here. You see these magenta lines saying that there's bearish divergence here. If you don't believe me, you can just look at the RSI, and RSI is showing that we were making lower highs here on the RSI while we were making higher highs on the price. And that's bearish divergence right there, bearish divergence. So you already had your warning signals here that the British pound to yen was going to drop down in price. And it did, but here's the thing. You're making bearish divergence, but you're still making higher lows here on the pound to the yen. So that's going to frustrate the crap out of the bears and the short sellers here. And we could still probably make another higher high later on in the future here before we get the nasty drop down to lower levels here. So keep that in mind, that we're still making higher lows. We got a low here, higher low, and this could possibly be another higher low here on our way to higher highs for the pound to yen here. And how much higher could we go? Have we ever been this high before? I don't think so. That's crazy that we've never been this high before here on the pound to yen. So the next thing I can do here for Flo Ryan, and I'm going to show you a Fibonacci here. And I just got to figure out which swing low to swing high do I want to go. I think I want to do this swing low here for the swing high. And I just do the Fibonacci on this, from this level here down to the level down here. And this gives me my Fibonacci extensions to the upside. And I see that we have a 1272 Fibonacci extension to the upside at $219. So maybe the pound to yen is at 219 in the near future here. And then who knows, maybe later on in 2026, you might see the 1618 at $222 British pound to the yen. Okay, so that's what I see here. And then I can also use this Fibonacci to figure out levels to the downside. Looks like we already hit the 0.382 at 210 bucks here. Okay, but if we go down lower than that, there is a 0.236 at 209. I think that should be an area that you should be looking for to try to buy the pound versus the yen here. If you do see 209 here. We got somebody here from Blowfin said, have I seen Zach XBT post about WEEX? No, I haven't. You want to tell me? Let me know what happened there. Papa La says, what about Bitcoin? We can look at Bitcoin again. We already looked at Bitcoin like twice on this live stream. I've been live for about an hour and 15 minutes. We already looked at Bitcoin a couple of times already in the beginning of the live stream, in the middle of the live stream, but we'll look at it again. Yeah, I got you on Bitcoin there. We're just looking at the British pound, the yen, and we had another request for the US dollar to yen, right? That was the other one we're gonna look at. Let's look at that one as well. USD to JPY. And this one's trading at 157 points, or I guess $157 to the yen. And you are just like with the British pound, you already got a bunch of signals here telling you that you need to short the dollar to the yen. And sure enough, it finally played out here. Okay, with this DeluxeAlgo indicator showing you that you need to short or consider selling. Maybe you don't have to short, but you could, sell your long position here. And you got that played out right here. Okay. I already did a Fibonacci on this, so we'll just look at the levels here. Fibonacci is showing that if we're going to continue being bullish here on the dollar to yen, the 1272 says we could get up to like $165. Let me just get rid of this previous chart work here. This was like an idea here, is like what could happen next. But like if we get past $165 and we continue to be more bullish here on the dollar to yen, there is a 1618 at $172. I would be looking for that as levels to the upside here. Now, do we got the momentum to go up to the upside? I would say no. Just looking at the MACD indicator here, selling pressure was trying to die off, and then it started increasing again this week. So dollar to yen looks like it's going to go down, not up, according to the MACD indicator here. And then money flow, let's see what money flow is doing here. Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. Money flow is coming down, and you got a red sell dot that came in here on Thursday, and the hyperwave is negative magenta right now. So I think the dollar to yen is going to go down to lower prices. So we should actually be looking on that Fibonacci. We should be looking at the lower levels here. I think the 618 golden pockets makes sense, where we come down to $152 here. And that's confluent with like kind of like this double bottom that we got going on here at like 152 bucks here. I think that might end up being where we go to next for the dollar to yen here. Okay. All right, moving on from there. Let's go back to Bitcoin. See how Bitcoin's doing. What is Bitcoin doing? Are we going up or down here on Bitcoin? Bitcoin currently trading at $78,333. What do you want for Bitcoin here? Do you want the high time frame or the low time frame? I'll start with the high time frame since we're already on it. We have a trap short signal here saying that we should be shorting Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still making lower highs as of now. Okay, the last highest high, most recent high was at 79,500 on April 22nd. Then you made a slightly, ever so slightly lower high here on April 27th at 79,496. And now on Friday here, we came up to 78,900, but that still is a lower high unless we can push past 79,500 here, okay? Also, with Bitcoin, we came up to the bottom of the channel here on the rising channel here, acted as resistance at 78K. However, if we are able to go up to higher prices again, I think 79K could be where we get a rejection off this bottom of the rising channel here, okay? Until we can push past that and go to higher prices. And if we can push past that, go to higher prices, there is a moving average to the upside here. The 200 moving average, I think, is going to be a problem at $83,840. That red line is right there at $83,000, almost $84,000. Is where I think Bitcoin could have a rejection initially. For who knows, if Bitcoin does continue being bullish here, maybe we can push past 84K. But, you know, for now, I'm targeting 84K as my highest price target for Bitcoin if it's going to continue being bullish here. All right. But is it going to continue being bullish? Let's look at the MACD indicator here. So earlier this week and last week, we were a little bit worried about Bitcoin's buying pressure dying down, which then turned into selling pressure earlier this week. However, selling pressure is dying down, and who knows, if it continues to die down throughout this weekend going into next week, we could see probably 80K Bitcoin for the first time in a long time, okay? But yeah, we could see 80K Bitcoin if the selling pressure continues dying down here on the MACD indicator. And then let's look at the other momentum indicator, and that is the money flow. Money flow. You got a green buy dot that came in today, this Friday. However, you had a red sell dot last Saturday, and you had a momentum coming down, but something's going on. I guess we're still hopeful here about Congress disapproving the war in Iran, and that would be beneficial for Bitcoin. And I would expect Bitcoin to go up to higher prices, and I expect oil to go down on that bit of news there. And we might get that sooner rather than later. It's 7 o'clock here in Costa Rica, but like Mountain Standard Time, it's 7 o'clock, and it's like 9 o'clock over in Washington, D.C. And I think they're probably doing the deliberations and the debates over in Congress tonight. And I think later on tonight, we'll find out maybe around like 11 or 12 o'clock later on tonight, which would be about 3 or 4 hours from now. We could find out if we're actually going to disapprove the war in Iran here. So be on the lookout for that, because that could be explosive price action for Bitcoin, whether it's up or down. I would expect something going on here in the next 3 to 4 hours for Bitcoin, and also for oil prices as well. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame, see what's going on in the 1 hour time frame. Bitcoin looks like it is trying to make an uptrend here. After topping out early this morning at 78,900, it was trending downward here, but it looks like the 21 EMA kind of providing support here, preventing you from going down to lower prices. If we were to drop, I would expect the 21 EMA to act as support at 77,900, which is not too far off from where we are. But it might slice through that and come down to the 200 moving average. This 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame at 77,200. I would look for that as possible bounce for Bitcoin if it does drop down to that level there. I'm going to zoom out now and try to put on the VRBP indicator, and it's going to give us this little heat map looking thing here. But this is showing us levels to be looking for. And to the downside, I do see a high volume node here at 76,300. I think that's should be a level that we should be looking for a bounce off of Bitcoin if it does drop down to 76K. 76,300 should be area where Bitcoin should stop the bleeding before, who knows, maybe we make a bear flag and then we drop down lower, okay? But this is what I'm seeing. You also got a high volume node here at 77,700. This is your point of control POC. So I think Bitcoin for now wants to remain above 78K until we break below 78K, and there could be a little bit of a support here at 77,700 before, if you break that, then I think it gets, you know, bad for Bitcoin, where we drop down to like the value area low and then this high volume node here at 76K. Crypto Cruise, let me know how things are working out with your purchase there with DeluxeAlgo indicator. Were you able to actually get the indicators on your chart? I think I showed you how to, you got to go into the invite only. Let me know if that actually worked for you or not. Blow CRL Blowfin. All right, you said check my Discord general chat. I can check my Discord. I can do that right now. Let's see. Discord. This is the Meet Damien Discord. This is where you guys can talk to me and interact with me when I'm not live streaming. And let's see, that's my announcement channel. Let's go into the general side. Let's see. All right, look at this one, Zach XBT. All right, what is this? Is this what you want me to look at? Community alert. If your favorite influencer promotes any of these offshore centralized exchanges, block them immediately as your funds are not safe. 2bit, BitUnix, WEEX, Jucoin, Drew. Okay, promoting sketchy bucket shops means they are not actually profitable traders and instead make their money from KOL deals, referral links, blah blah blah. Okay, all right. So somebody is like angry with these cryptocurrency exchanges. Okay, is that what you wanted me to take a look at? All right, and let's see. Someone actually put a thumbs up on that one. Certain nap time. Okay. All right. So what was the whole point of that? You just want to let me know that those are sketchy exchanges there. And why do you think they're sketchy? Or why does that guy think they're sketchy? I don't think that was you that said that, but why does that guy think it's sketchy? I actually know the people that work at MEXC and WEEX. That's how I became an affiliate there. I've actually done video conference calls with them, and I don't really have any bad things to say about them. They seem like good people to me. I don't know why they're considered sketchy. I know MEXC's been around for a while, WEEX has been around for a while, and I don't think, if they're gonna be around for a while, I don't think they're gonna want to do, you know, sketchy things, because that's one way to lose your business, is doing sketchy things. I wouldn't think that's how they make their money, by being sketchy. All right, let's see. Papa Lala says, check the weekly time frame. What about the weekly time frame do you want to look at here? Is this on Bitcoin? You want me to take a look at the weekly time frame? Weekly time frame here on Bitcoin. We've been having up all throughout April. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 green weekly candles here, and now we're getting a red candle here on Bitcoin. Still got like a couple of days left before the end of the week here, but this is kind of looking like a weird hammer candle. Okay, and usually you see the hammer candle at the bottom of a downtrend, but this is a hammer candle at the top of an uptrend. The hammer candle is supposed to be a price reversal candle. Now this isn't exactly a hammer candle because you don't have like the body. Like the body should be like the hammer part that hits the nail should be solid here. You got kind of like a wick to the upside here, so not quite a perfect hammer candle, but you could still interpret it as a hammer candle. And if this is a hammer candle on the weekly time frame, it should mean that we should go to higher prices here. What happened here on this, you know, candle for the weekly time frame is sellers are trying to push the price of Bitcoin down to like $74,000 here, and then buyers just bought it back up again. So there's a lot of buying pressure below 78K, right? We still don't know how this candle is gonna actually finish itself. You know, we could see, you know, more red to the downside. The body could get bigger if Bitcoin drops down to lower prices over the weekend here. But if it finishes off like this, then I would think next week is gonna be pretty good for Bitcoin again. Yeah. CRL Blowfin says you're working in MEXC but not WEEX. Oh, you're working with MEXC but not WEEX. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you got against WEEX Exchange. I never had problems with them. But it sounds like you don't like WEEX Exchange. That's fine. There's more than one cryptocurrency exchange. You can use whatever one you like. I give people options here on the link tree. Like, you can use whatever link you want to use here. WEEX, MEXC, Coinbase, Kraken. I use all those exchanges there. I feel comfortable putting it up there on my link tree because I use all these exchanges. I never had problems with them. I've been with Coinbase the longest. Never had problems with Coinbase except for like stupid shit with them stopping me out on the future trades. Price never actually dropped down. I don't like that. But I've always had nothing but good things to say about Coinbase besides that. And never had problems with Kraken. MEXC though, I know MEXC is restricting people's accounts. So be careful with that. If you don't do KYC with MEXC, they're not going to let you take money off their exchange until you do KYC with them. So be careful with that on MEXC. And then WEEX doesn't really do KYC, so you don't have to worry about that. So that's why I've been telling all my new guys and even the experienced guys to go over the WEEX, because I really never had any problems with WEEX. You let me know what you have problems with them, but I never had problems with WEEX. I think they're the easiest exchange to get started with. If you wanted to like start trading crypto futures right now, like literally tonight, all you need is a phone number or an email, and you can get started with WEEX. What about OKX? I don't know much about OKX. I know there's other cryptocurrency exchanges out there. I never done work or traded on OKX. And I haven't heard anything good or bad about OKX. I guess they're doing all right over there. And Flo Ryan, you are welcome. I'm glad I was able to help you out with your understanding about the British pound to the yen and the US dollar to yen. I never really get too many people asking for currencies, but I appreciate that because I know they're there, and I am curious to find out what's going on, you know, besides looking at crypto and stocks all the time. All right. Oh, we got another guy here spamming my chat here on TikTok. Okay, and you're getting muted. There you go. So do we have any more requests here besides Bitcoin and oil? Thank you, Blowfin, for sending me the roses there. Appreciate that. And sending me the awesome, thank you. And the ice cream cone, thank you for that. Appreciate that. So we are on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin. I don't know what else you want to look at. We kind of looked at the candles here, saying that this is kind of pretty bullish to see Bitcoin do something like this on the weekly time frame. Let's look at the MACD indicator. Why not? See if there's anything going on here worth writing home to mom about. Selling pressure has died down here on Bitcoin, and buying pressure is here. Bitcoin had a pretty good April. Going from like what was Bitcoin at earlier in the beginning of April here? I mean, since like the last week of March, Bitcoin was at like 65K, and now we're at 78K. It's up like $13,000 since then. So Bitcoin looking pretty good on the weekly time frame. I don't know what's gonna prevent it from not being good. Maybe the war in Iran, yeah. So I think later on tonight it's pretty important to pay attention to what does United States Congress do with the war in Iran. Are they going to approve it or are they going to disapprove of it? Because that's going to affect our money here in crypto. Right now I see on the weekly time frame money flow is actually increasing to the upside here. It is negative, but it's trying to go, it looks like if it continues what it's doing, it's going to go positive here. Momentum is also climbing up and going positive. And then you got a green buy dot that came in the first week of March. So literally like right when the war started is when it told us to actually buy Bitcoin. That's funny. Crazy that Maybe because like people were already expecting a war to start, and then once it started, they're like, okay, this is it, right? And maybe it's not as bad as they thought it was going to be, and that's why we've been going up to higher prices here. But yeah, money flow negative, and it turned negative here towards the end of January, but now it's trying to curve up and go up. Could there be a fake out though? There could be a fake out that sends, you know, money flow back down more negative again. Okay, and I think that's going to be probably within the next week or two, maybe even tonight, when we find out if we're going to have an official war with Iran with the stamp of approval by the United States Congress. If they say yes, Donald Trump can continue fighting in Iran, then I think you're going to see money flow go negative here again, or more negative, and you'll see lower prices here for Bitcoin. So I think we're all on knife's edge here, waiting for what's going to happen here with the United States Congress later on tonight, voting on whether they're going to have an extension of the war here. Somebody here on TikTok, guest says, did I hear about the master pattern method? No, I haven't heard about that. You want to tell me about it? Tell me about it here in the chat. And we have a request here for Pippin Coin. I was actually going to try to end the live stream, but I'll do one more request and then I'm going to end the live stream here, guys. Okay. I see Bitcoin still climbing up to higher prices here. Kind of want to see what the 1 hour time frame is doing here for Bitcoin real quick though. I want to see what the 1 hour MACD and money flow is doing. Money flow, green buy dot, came in just now for Bitcoin. I think our Bitcoin shorts are going to probably get stopped out here, guys. They haven't done so already. And then let's see. Yep, MACD is showing selling pressure kind of dying off here on Bitcoin. Yep, makes sense because Bitcoin's going up right now. Let's see. We gotta look at Pippin. Was a request here. Let me see. I think I have Pippin on my watch list. Yeah, let's see what they can find here. Yep, there it is. Pippin. And Pippin is currently trading at 0.0265 pennies right now. We're on the 1 hour time frame. Why not? Let me get rid of the VRVP and get it for now. So Pippin's having a hard time getting past this 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. I think once it does that, maybe it can go to higher prices here. We do have a short signal here that says that we should be shorting Pippin right now. That came in just before you got that drop here earlier on this afternoon. And let me see, what is the MACD doing here? Buying pressure dying down for sure. Okay, buying pressure kind of like it hasn't gone into selling pressure yet. That's interesting. And then let's see what's going on with the money flow. Green buy dot came in just now on the 1 hour time frame, after you just had a red sell dot earlier this afternoon at we'll say like about 4 hours ago, 4 candles ago on the 1 hour time frame. Momentum is to the downside, and look at this, up, but green buy dot just disappeared. So maybe because the price just went down a little bit, but if the price goes back up ever so slightly again, we probably will get a green buy dot one more time here. So you can see like this is taking in the data as it comes in, and we had a green buy dot and then it just disappeared on us just now while we were on the live stream, literally right in front of our eyes. Let me zoom out here. What do we want to do here with Pippin? Well, it's telling us that we should short Pippin. And if we are going to short Pippin, I mean, how much further can you take the short down? Got some 1 hour moving averages below you at the 50 moving average at 0.0256 pennies. Could be a target to the downside. And then I guess you could probably see if these previous lows hit here at 0.0249 pennies. I want to throw in the VRVP indicator, see what the VRVP indicator has to say about levels to watch. You got a point of control, this blue line at 0.0253 pennies. That should be where you should be targeting for your short to the downside. And then the value area low at 0.0236 pennies should be another target to the downside on Pippin. Now, if you're long in Pippin, you are getting above some of this volume nodes here, and there shouldn't be much resistance until you get to like 0.027 pennies. Should be a target to the upside. And then another target to the upside is this other high volume node here at 0.028 pennies. And I think that should be it for the day traders out there. Unless you're a swing trader and you're in it for the long run. If you're in it for the long run, then there is a value area high at well, it just moved on me, but the value area high is sitting at 0.032 pennies. I believe that is a level that we hit back here on Sunday and Saturday last weekend. We were at 0.032, so that should be a target to the upside. All right, did I hear about Trade ATS Action Threshold software? No, I haven't. I have not. But you can join the Meet Damien Discord and tell me more about it on the Discord, and if it makes sense, maybe I'll get involved with it. But guys, that's gonna be it for this live stream. Appreciate you guys coming to live stream. Don't forget to smash that like button and follow me here on TikTok if you haven't done so already. We got 23 new followers here on TikTok. I'm a little bit curious to see if YouTube got any subscribers. But yeah, guys, let's plan on doing this again on Monday around the same time, between 8 p.m. Eastern time to 10 p.m. Eastern time is when I go live. Okay. I think this weekend I'll try to do maybe some YouTube shorts and some TikToks about various coins here. If you guys have any coins you want me to talk about, go on to the Meet Damien Discord and I'll probably do a video on it. Okay. For my TikTok guys, you go over to TikTok, Meet Damien TikTok here. Let me just refresh the page here. Do I have internet connection, please? Can I get some service here? What the hell? I just clicked the refresh button. But if you go over to my bio on the Meet Damien TikTok, click on this Linktree link here, and that should take you to the Meet Damien Linktree, which will then take you over to the Linktree shows you the Meet Damien Discord server, which is free to join, not going to cost you anything. Click on that, and then you can come say hi to me here on Meet Damien Discord server. Okay, in the general chat. Looks like we already had someone come in. I'm gonna say hi to them right now. Okay, but yeah, this is the Discord server where you can interact with me, interact with other traders here that are looking at assets here. We share, assets and videos here from other channels as well. But then, there is some more benefit to this where you can actually share your ideas here for like what trades to get into, and we got a trade setup channel here. Where we show, what we're looking at for certain assets here. Okay, giving you, what direction we're going to do, long, what leverage we're using, entry, and then the take profit targets and the stop loss. And then when those trades actually do play out and you actually make some money on those trades, then we don't mind sharing, how much money we're making or how much percentage gains we're getting. Cameron loves showing off his trades here, doing a 75x long on Solana, up 92%. There you go. There's Cameron one more time. And, there we go. Cameron with a 50x long on Orca, up 1,300%. I know how hard it is to get into a trade and stay in a trade and be profitable. So I don't mind you guys showing off here your gains here. That is the whole point of the Show Your Gains channel here. But you see, we got other traders here. Besides Cameron doing pretty well. We got Tony Starks doing a short on MU or meme core coin and up 253%. So other traders out here besides myself who are doing pretty well in the Meet Damien community here. And try to learn as much as you can from these other traders here besides myself. And we will try to help each other out as best as we can here in the Meet Damien channel. If you guys get toxic, if you guys start attacking, personally attacking people or making insults, I will ban you from the Meet Damien channel. So make sure you behave yourself here on the Meet Damien Discord server, okay? That's like your first and last warning right there. All right, guys, let's plan on doing this again on Monday. Haddad just asked me, do I have a signals? I do have signals. I'm trying to start up a signals group here. I do have a premium signals channel here, right, on the Discord channel. Trying to figure out what I should do for price wise. I'm thinking about like charging like $30 a month for the signals here. But if you want to do signals, I would use the signals indicator here from the you know, that you see on the charts here, and we would pick whatever asset you want to go long or short, or whatever asset you think you want to trade, and I will show you here on the chart and give you screenshots as to whether or not we should be long or shorting something. Like in this case for Pippin, we should be shorting Pippin right now on the 1 hour time frame here. So that I would give you the signal, and then I would try to give you the take profit target, which I already did here, and I would give you the stop loss or whatever leverage I think we should be using on that trade. And you'll just have to reach out to me on the Discord. All right, reach out to me on the Meet Gaming Discord, and we'll talk about getting you started on the signals here. Okay. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today. I will see you on Monday, same time. Take care, guys. And we'll listen to some music on the way out. Some outro music.